Hello everyone. In this presentation, I will teach you about Kirchhoff's voltage law. In the last lecture, I explained you about Kirchhoff's laws and more specifically Kirchhoff's current law. In my last lecture, I told you that Kirchhoff's voltage law KVL is based on conservation of energy. Okay, and the law states that KVL states that the algebraic sum of all voltages around a loop or path, the path has to be closed, is 0. I hope every one of you now understand what does it mean by the algebraic sum. The algebraic sum is 0. In my last presentation, I explained you that algebraic sum is equal to 0 means if you are adding two or more quantities or multiple quantities, sum of that quantities have positive sign and sum of that quantities have negative or opposite sign. In mathematically, Kirchhoff's voltage law can be written as summations of Vm is equal to 0. Now what does this m stands for? This m stands for number of voltage in the loop. I hope everybody can understand what does a loop means, or you can see my previous lecture. I have given a detailed lecture about node, loops and branches. If you have any confusion regarding loop or nodes, you can clear it through that lecture. Now, since the algebraic sum is 0, so in a loop, if there are multiple voltages, then some voltages has to be positive and some voltages has to be negative. Now, how can you or how can anybody will understand that which voltage source will have positive sign or which voltage source have negative sign? I'm giving you a note here. This is very important. Okay, this note is very important. See, the sign, okay, the sign on each voltage is the polarity of the terminal encountered first as we travel around the loop. Okay, see, the sign on each voltage is the polarity, okay, is the polarity of the terminal encountered first as we travel around the loop. Now, in KVL, you can travel around the loop in both clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. KVL can be, this is also a very important line, KVL can be applied in both clockwise or counter clockwise direction around the loop. Some of you may have some confusion there. I think every confusion will be clear if I give you an illustration. See, we have a loop here. Suppose this is a loop and this is voltage source V1, this is voltage source V4. The value of this resistor is R1, value of this resistor is R2, and the polarity is plus, minus, and the voltage drop across across R1 is V2, and the voltage drop across R2 is V3. Okay. Now, see, you have to keep in mind this note that the sign on each voltage is the polarity of the terminal encountered first as we travel around the loop. So you have to travel this loop. So suppose you are traveling from point A, this is point A, this is point B, this is point C, this is point D to A. So you have to travel the path A, B, C, D, A. Whenever you are starting from point A, you have to end the path with point A, otherwise the path will not be closed. Okay. So A, B, C, D, A, in path A, B, C, D, A, suppose we are traveling in clockwise direction. Okay, suppose we are traveling in clockwise direction. So this is our clockwise direction and the current is going in clockwise direction. Okay, so it is very important to remind that you are going through the clockwise direction means you are considering the electric current in this circuit is traveling in the clockwise direction. Okay, now in ABCDA loop from KVL, what does we get? From A to B, see, if we are traveling from A to B, we are getting voltage source V2 and we are entering the positive polarity first, so it will be positive V2. Now you are entering V3 voltage and the polarity we are entering first is also positive, so this is positive V3. We are entering negative polarity of voltage V4, so it should be negative of V4, and finally we are entering negative polarity of V1 voltage source also, so this is negative V1. Okay, so this is negative V1. Now what you have to do, you have to have the algebraic sum. So we need to sum these quantities, so V2, V3, V4 and V4, and the summation result will be 0. Okay, so or V2 plus V3, positive times negative is negative, minus V4 minus V1 is equal to 0, or V2 plus V3 is equal to V1 plus V4. See, from this equation, we are getting a very important thing here. What is V2 and what is V3? See, V2 is the voltage drop across resistor R1. Okay, see, V2 is the voltage drop across resistor R1 and V3 is the voltage drop across resistor R2. So V2 and V3 is the summation of voltage drop. Okay, V2 and V3 is the summation of voltage drop. So here we can write that summation of V drop. Okay, the summation of all the voltage drops. And what is V1 and V4? V1 is the voltage source and V4 is also the voltage source. So this is the summation of voltage sources. So this is the short form, or this is the exact form of Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay, that in a loop or inside a loop, the summation of all the voltage sources is equal to the summation of all the voltage drops or summation of all the voltage absorbed by the passive element. Okay, so this is the final form of Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay. Students, we will do an example now so that you can understand Kirchhoff's voltage law better. Students, see, this is example 1 and this is the loop. There is 2 voltage sources. This is 32 volt source and this is minus 8 volt voltage source. Here is resistor 4 ohm and this is resistor 2 ohm. The voltage drop across 4 ohm is V1 and voltage drop across 2 ohm is V2. You have to calculate V1 and V2. Now, as you see, we are applying KVL here. We are starting from point A, this is point B, this is point C, this is point D. Okay, solution. In the closed loop, A, B, C, D, A. Okay, what do we get? From A to B, we are having positive V1. And from B to C, from B to C, we are entering the negative polarity. Okay, we are entering the negative polarity, and the value of this voltage source is minus 8 volt. So this will be minus of minus 8 volt. See what this minus stands for. This negative is polarity. This negative stands for the polarity. And what this 8 volt stands for? This 8 volt stands for the value. What is the value of this voltage source? Minus 8 volt. Okay. Same things here. This positive sign is polarity. And what is this V1? V1 is the value of that voltage. Now, we are entering the negative terminal of V2. So, this would be minus of V2 and this would be minus of 32. Now, you have to add these sources. So, the algebraic sum means positive, 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 and all the algebraic sum has to be 0. So, or V1, negative times negative is positive, so positive 8 minus V2 minus 32 is equal to 0, or V1 minus V2 is equal to 24. This is equation 1. Now from Ohm's law, see, from Ohm's law we know that V1 is equal to 4 times I1, isn't it? V1 is equal to 4 times I1, and V2 is equal to minus 2 times I1. So why is negative sign here? Why negative? This is a very important thing you have to keep in mind, that this negative term comes here because, see, we are traveling clockwise direction in this path. Okay, we are traveling in the clockwise direction. So the current I or I1 is entering the positive terminal of resistor 4 ohm. See, the current I1 is entering the positive terminal of resistor 4 ohm first. So that's why we have written here positive 4 times I1, but the same current I1 is entering the negative terminal of resistor 2 ohm. So that's why we have written down this negative sign here. Okay. Now from equation 1, see, from equation 1, what is the value of V1? This is 4I1 minus V2 is minus 2I1 is equal to 24, or 4I1 plus 2I1 is equal to 24, which means we are having I1 is equal to 24 divided by 6, 4 amps. So now what is V1? V1 is 4 times 4, 16 volt. Okay, V1 is 16 volt, and V2 is minus 2 times 4, minus 8 volt. I hope you have understood this example. I am giving you a homework example so that you can understand Kirchhoff's voltage law better. See students, this is your homework problem. This is a loop, and in this loop you have 20 volt source. This is a 2 ohm resistor, 3 ohm resistor. Voltage drop across 2 ohm is V1, voltage drop across 3 ohm is V2. You have to calculate V1 and V2. This example is very easy. I think every one of you who have understood this difficult problem will able to solve this easy problem. So that's for today. I will show you some more numerical example about Kirchhoff's law in my next lecture. Thank you.